Everybody battling for the tournament seedings as well as where they're going to be placed in the NCAA tournament. Every game counts. This is a big one.
We'll jump it up. And then we'll do it again.
It's always a little anticlimactic when that happens, right?
It'll be between Stolke and Markowski. These two players going back a couple of years, facing off against each other, and it will be the Hawkeyes taking the first possession. They have won 4 straight games immediately after their 5-game losing streak, as Kylie Feuerbach will lose that out of bounds and give it back to the Huskers. Nebraska, you mentioned, losing 3 of their last 4. They've been held to 60 points in the last 2 games apiece. The shooting has gone down as well, just 8 threes combined over that stretch as well.
Yeah, that 60 points against Michigan, their lowest point total here at home this year.
Markowski misfires, falling away, a go-to post move for her. Lucy Olsen finds a seam. Really high level take. She's been finding that groove. Haig splitting the defense. How about that take, but can't convert.
Used that ball screen and got to the rim quickly, but Stolke definitely impacted that shot.
So much ball and player movement for the Hawkeyes. Igniting this stretch. You mentioned that win against USC, one on the road at Minnesota most recently. The lob inside. Stolke is stuffed. Will stay here.
Nebraska did a lot to work on defending these baseline out-of-bounds plays in their shoot-around today.
Olsen calling her own number. She's got it.
Really well executed.
In her uniform after the game, shooting free throws after the game had concluded on the court at Carver Hawkeye Arena. And she has turned the corner since then, sweeping in and right to the cup for 2.
And there she is right on cue. She has scored all their points. She has attacked, and that's right. I mean, she took it personally, all those missed free throws.
For the Hawkeyes, they led 18-1 against USC, 18-7 at Minnesota most recently. Now 7-2 here, and looking to add to that on this possession. Now 7 to shoot. Olsen squaring up against the freshman Prince. Has to give it up. Stolke the long 2. Keeping it alive. Taylor Stremlo. She does all the little things for the Hawkeyes.
Nobody blocked her out.
Slicing inside. Sydney Affolter. Talking to us today, she said it was hard to start the season coming off a knee procedure. The last 3 games, over 12 points per game. 7 of 12 from 3. 10 rebounds per game as well. She's a lightning rod and bringing it on this 4-game win streak.
And being a part of Iowa's teams that were in the national championship games, where this is an important game for them on the road, and she's ready.
Rimdahl is stopped in a strong drive. And again, Iowa getting the stop, leading 8-2. Olsen being guarded by the freshman Prince. She'll drive, the kick, the 3 is good by Affolter.
Yeah, that 18-1 start against USC was just remarkable. Caitlin Clark was in the building, and they retired her jersey that day, so a little magic there, but that was an incredible start.
Bryn Prince, her patented long 2. They go into Addie O'Grady, 5th in the nation in field goal percentage, near 70%. In the corner, Olsen, too good a look, but that time couldn't knock it down. Great work on the glass by Amaya Hargrove.
And first miss of the game for Olsen.
Rimdahl hesitates, then drains the 3.
You can tell Iowa is trying to do all they can to keep the ball out of her hands and be disruptive when she has it.
That game for Prince was season-defining how good it was. There's Olsen.
Keeping track of deflections, Iowa would have a lot so far. They are keeping their hands very active. You attack pressure with pressure, and Rimdahl goes to the rim that time.
Trying to make them pay for being aggressive. Here is Olsen. Plenty of time to think about that 3. Under a minute to play here in a quick-paced first quarter. Coach Jensen and her staff like Affolter at the 4 offensively with the kind of mismatches she can have, but she holds her ground defensively too against someone like Hargrove.
She had a double-double in Iowa. This is the only time these two play, and they don't play anybody else twice in the whole Big Ten schedule, so they are enjoying kind of tweaking things. It was a little bit of a late whistle, but as she swung at the ball to tip it out.
Two players who have started in your front court over the last couple of weeks. Got a lot of confidence as coaches.
Lucy Olsen testing Moriarty. Watch for her to get a screen and take it inside, possibly.
Leah Guyton, another freshman, has had some big games. Had a fantastic play against Nebraska. Here she slices to the rim. 10 seconds now to shoot. And Prince is going to get to work. Moriarty driving along the baseline. Hesitation. And that is how the first quarter will end.
Iowa and Nebraska are tied in the standing. If Nebraska wins, they create some separation, and that's why this is so important. Lucy Olsen with the 12 points, Affolter 4. That's all the scoring for Iowa so far. That's all they've needed to have this lead, but it's been really the leadership of Olsen.
They're going to be depending on Ava Hyden, number 5, setting a screen right now. Both Addie O'Grady and Hannah Stokey on the bench right now to start the second. 2 personal fouls apiece. McCabe decides against the 3. Feuerbach gets the step awkwardly under the rim and ripped down by Markowski.
So where does Iowa get their scoring? They're going to be very guard heavy with this lineup, but Nebraska has an opportunity without the size of Iowa to get the ball inside, but that's great defense by Iowa to collapse on that lob pass inside.
Falter read that all the way. Here is Olsen lining up and sinking another 3.
And right now, Lucy Olsen is totally in a zone. And if you are anybody with a red jersey on, you cannot allow her to have an open look because she's going to hit it.
Rimdahl
over the last 4 games, averaging almost 20 points a game, 53%. But it's her 3-point shoot.
Able to end that 5-game losing streak against Washington. She said sometimes it just takes time.
Too much hand fighting, hooks her a little bit, and commits the foul. And that's not who you want Markowski committing fouls against.
Coach Jensen, the post whisperer, says she's got a bounce in her step. She's much different than O'Grady. They have high expectations. Here's another 3 for the Hawkeyes. That's Affolter, now up to 7. Still 2 Hawkeyes are the only scorers on that side. Lob inside to Markowski. There's those hands again.
Vantage point over there. Hyden raked down across the hand of Markowski.
That is 2 on Stolke.
That she draws so much attention that she is single-handedly getting the Iowa Bigs in foul trouble, even though she hasn't scored a lot yet.
Nebraska's last 8 points coming from the free throw line, still trying to find that spark offensively in the half court. Falter going into Hyden into the paint. Look at the position and the finish from the freshman.
That was beautiful footwork.
Rimdahl patient through that screen, finds a seam. And she'll be shooting 2.
Yeah, they've been getting great contributions from their freshmen.
That it was actually the veterans who were stepping up to close a game against a very tough team on the road. Here's Olsen behind the back, so quick. Misses back-to-back looks. That on the floor, and the jump ball will send it the other way.
Nebraska, the tallest one out there, but everybody else being quick and scrappy and getting after the loose balls because every possession so important.
Nebraska, we talked about them shooting from the free throw line. They have not even gotten a shot off officially until right then with Bojan, who sticks with it and gets it to go.
Nice putback by the freshman.
Olsen tries to drop a dime. Maybe should have taken that shot.
Yeah. And they won't stay with it to follow up. That's an important play for the freshman and for Nebraska in that situation.
An incredibly productive player in her limited minutes, relieving one of the greats in this program's history, Alexis Markowski. Look at her go! Draining a 3. Olsen getting downhill. Count it!
She gets hung up in the air, and she does that well. She gets around Prince, hangs, and is able to power through the contact and still get the shot up. That is great body control.
18 points for Lucy Olsen. Remarkable start by Lucy Olsen. Moriarty stopping on a dime. Bojan says, I'll do it again. Off back iron, then Olsen is fouled. The fact that Iowa is maintaining pace here with two of its key players, Hannah Stolke and Addie O'Grady, on the bench with 2 personal fouls. Both picked up those 2 personals in the first quarter. So an uphill climb. They're meeting the challenge right now. Olsen dropping it down into Hayden. Brilliant basketball by the Hawkeyes. 7 seconds taken off the clock after the extra look by our refereeing crew. Here's Prince stopping against Olsen. Markowski going to work back against the basket against the freshman. It won't drop. A tough shooting start from Markowski. 1 of 4 from the floor.
Good defense by Hayden just to stand her ground.
The speed of Aaliyah Guyton trying to ignite this transition offense. Caught about that 3. She is shifty with the ball in her hands. Can also drive and hit in the paint. Prince surveying this defense. 10 to shoot now for Prince. A really difficult 3. No one boxed out Moriarty. An offensive foul is going to go on Moriarty. This coaching staff really high on Tegan Mullaney. Can see her being a 3-point shooter in her future. Just 24% this season, but trying to keep her confidence up, still pouring into her. She's showing you can make an impact in different ways on the floor.
There are 4 freshmen on the floor right now for Iowa.
There's Streblo.
Everything that Nebraska has done, the defense for Iowa has been quick and disruptive. Really being there to make it difficult. Even there on that shot for Markowski.
Coming up on the All-State halftime show, highlights and more to come. A rematch between these 2 rivals, led by 11 with 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Let it slip away on their home court and playing like they remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, Iowa had that game and missed a lot of free throws down the stretch. Just did not do what they needed to do to finish the game.
Petrie, the first bucket in over 3 minutes for the Huskers, and badly needed here in the second quarter. Mullaney using her physicality.
Using her body to protect that shot.
And playing with so much confidence in this game, even though her minutes have been up and down. Of course, playing behind people like Stolke, like Affolter at her position. They're coming in looking strong here in the first half in Lincoln. As Feuerbach will be whistled for the foul. That's going to be her second. Nebraska 11 of 12 from the free throw line. Iowa just 3 of 4. Having her most efficient season this her first 7-point lead for the Hawkeyes. An outstanding first half on the road. Look at that playmaking. Lucy Olsen doing everything for Iowa.
Both times Markowski has come over to help with Olsen. She has passed off a beautiful pass. That time it was converted by Hyde.
3 first-half assists for Olsen, 18 points to go along with it. Look at that take! Been carrying quite the load here in the first half. Jay Ediger getting in on the action here. Guyton lets it fly, and Callan Hake will slow things down for Nebraska. Nebraska has never led in this game. Iowa has led by as many as 9. Hank gets the step, will drive and kick. Hargrove, yes!
Big shot. Gives Nebraska a little momentum unless Iowa can hit one here before the halftime buzzer.
Guyton gives a look inside, drops it into Ediger, makes a move. Did she get it off in time? The Hawkeyes think so. Hannah Stolke playing just 8 minutes in that first half. She picked up 2 personal fouls, and then Addie O'Grady, who's instrumental off the bench, also had 2 personal fouls as well. Brittany Rimdahl leading the way for Nebraska with 14 points. That's one off her season high. Stolke, first time back in the game since the first quarter, picks up the assist.
Not very far away from here, about less than an hour from Lincoln.
Prince surveying this defense. He's a little stagnant here in the half court, now under 10 to shoot for Prince and the Huskers.
Prince is having a tough time against the Iowa defense. They are giving her a lot of attention.
Petrie barrels toward the paint. Look at their career points. Prince nearly 2,500. McCabe over 2,300 points in Class B. So they've seen a lot of each other on the hardwood.
Well, they certainly have. Not been able to get into the scoring much at all today.
Stokey hesitant, misfires on the other side of the floor. Affolter picked up her third personal foul. The only Hawkeyes so far with 3. Nisley by herself underneath. Look at the hand of Olsen poking that away. She's not just about scoring. She is lengthy on defense and loves to use it.
And she was on Prince much of the first half, and now she's chasing around Nisley.
Feuerbach, same thing goes for her with her length and tenacity. Throwing it up and getting it to fall is Markowski, and maybe that's just what she needs.
And that wasn't a great shot, but it was an awareness that the shot clock was winding down and she had to get the shot up toward the basket.
Ooh, Olsen to Stokey to quiet this crowd. They have answered every started run by the Huskers, but going up against each other and battling it out.
Yeah, all 3 games between these two teams last year were just incredible, including the Big Ten championship game that went to overtime. We mentioned this before, the format of the Big Ten Conference this year, you only play one team twice, and that's the rivalry game, basically, and this is the game these two play twice.
The 3 from McCabe, she's got it!
And the extra effort.
Iowa moving quick in this game. Markowski backing down. Stokey, another miss there at the rim, but Stokey, her defense standing strong.
Yeah, the last time she denied the pass inside, this time she was behind.
Riley Feuerbach in a flash to the rim.
Nebraska has been a step slower than Iowa throughout the game, as Iowa has been aggressive defensively and in attack mode on offense.
Picking the pocket, Kylie Feuerbach. It'll stay here. Nisley drains the 3. Affolter looks to get downhill. McCabe didn't have any kind of look there. Now 5 to shoot for Olsen. Working into Hake, earns herself a trip to the free throw line. It was so fun to see those connections at shoot around today, how far they go back, but you still pick them up again.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's really an honor to get the Dr. Barbara Hibner Legacy Award. She was the senior woman administrator when I was coaching here in the early 90s and meant so much to the Nebraska women's athletic program, was such a pioneer and a trailblazer herself. The soccer stadium is named after her here at the University of Nebraska, so to get an award, an honor in her memory and her honor means a lot to me, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Foul is called.
I appreciate that because, yes, we need to be able to thank and honor those who came before us and paved the way and built the foundation. I'm really proud to be working on that project, if not for them. For 30 years now, I have been calling games on television, and we get the best seat in the house. It's a lot of fun, so thank you.
And we've had a seat to this performance.
Yeah, and it was so important because how does Nebraska win that game without her on the court? But her leadership was a big part of it.
O'Grady whistled for the foul. That is going to be number 3 on her.
The only active Big Ten player with over 1,500 points and 1,000 rebounds.
Go inside to Stokey, races across the paint, keeps it alive, but then throws it to James Jensen to meet one of those Husker all-time greats as well, the winner of the 1993 Wade Trophy, a 2-time Big 8 Player of the Year. Her number 51 hangs in the rafters, 2,405 points. And funny enough, Iowa native.
That's right. She was, and she played 6-on-6 basketball and was a scorer also on that list. And then Jordan Hooper and Alexis Markowski.
She looked up to those players like Griffin, like Hooper, watching them. Now seeing young girls do the same thing. Olsen now taking over 10 to shoot.
Here come the screens.
Olsen patient, picking up speed. McCabe left wide open and capitalizes. Britt Prince with a hard take.
She was there. Beautiful move to get in there. Everything but finishing.
Affolter feeling it for the Hawkeyes, and they extend their lead here in the third. The largest of this game and on the road.
And as you look ahead at their remaining schedule, first of all, there's only 5 games remaining, but they've got some opportunities down the stretch to really move up the standings in the Big Ten.
A shot missed by Rimdahl. The rebound to Hayden, who's played important minutes today. O'Grady with 3 personal fouls. Stolke with 2 in the first quarter. But you're right, Brenda. It's interesting looking at the Hawkeyes. Of their 7 losses, only 1 was by even double figures, and that was against Tennessee. Olsen skipping into the lane. Off balance, it doesn't matter. 8-0 is this run by the Hawkeyes.
It just took some time for Lucy Olsen to feel completely comfortable in this Iowa system, and the burden in some ways that was on her shoulders, and she is really blossoming now here.
Olsen picks up the steal, bringing it on the defensive side as well. Guyton into a 3. That doesn't go, and we head to the fourth quarter. Iowa gripping and strengthening this lead.
Having everybody all in one location, I mean, the new teams that have made this conference even better, and just everybody in one place. I mean, the drama. I can't wait for the drama in the Big Ten tournament.
I also love drama in basketball. An offensive foul.
I don't know. I mean, that's tough. There have been so many moving screens called this year. I'm kind of frustrated by them a little bit. Usually it's on an on-ball screen, and a little bit of a lean gets called. But to me, she was setting, and she kind of got run over and got called for the foul.
Lucy Olsen, ridiculous drive to the rim. She's just having fun out there right now, smile on her face back on defense.
She is so shifty and such great footwork and explosiveness, and nobody can contain her right now.
Logan Nisley.
We're going to need a lot more of that, and Nebraska is a team, when they start putting in some threes, they can make a lot happen, but Lucy Olsen is the one making things happen right now.
28 points ties her season high, which was set against number 4 USC. She had 23 of those points in the second half. 11 of 18 from the field. She's tied her career high with 4 threes as well. Olsen trying to work with Stolke. Prevented from getting into the paint. Will leave it for Stolke one-on-one against Markowski, and she goes to work. Prince, her impact has been limited today. On the hands of Rimdahl. Markowski in the paint.
It's a combination of many of their field goal attempts were fouled, so that doesn't count, and it's disrupting. They've been scoring in transition, and they haven't been going to the free throw line, Iowa.
Stolke picked up her 3rd on that last side. Affolter with 3, O'Grady with 3, and Stremlo with 3 for Iowa. Olsen facing the defense of Rimdahl, pushing her away from the three-point line. 10 to shoot now for Affolter, slicing her way into the lane. She just lost it. And then Stolke was fouled going for the rebound.
But Nebraska in the zone did not block out, and then picks up the foul.
Offensive foul going on the Hawkeyes. McCabe was trying to get free in the corner. Just leaning away, the defense was right there. A lob into Prince. The Hawkeyes read it, but she still finishes over the defense.
Yeah, so athletic. Britt Prince skied up on that back screen to be able to get it and finish it.
Mulaney inside. Markowski with the block. Walling up inside and giving the ball back to her squad. Nebraska needing to increase the sense of urgency here if they're going to try and make a comeback and try and sweep this season series. Here's Rimdahl to the bucket.
Rimdahl is the player for Nebraska that's had success offensively.
Oh, McCabe, a nasty 3. The defender flies by, and Iowa is tied at season high with 11 threes. I've seen it happen in other games this season. And then she'll just take off. In fact, it happened against Minnesota. coming up big whenever she's needed.
And that's such an important quality to have the patience. She has had a remarkable career, and she has done so much for this program.
New season high, 30 points, her 11th career 30-point game, and first in an Iowa uniform. And did it with a patented mid-range.
That's what she does so well. And I mentioned
McCabe launching a three, no good that time.
Coming in, and she wasn't supposed to replace Caitlin Clark. Really good as of late. The 28 points she had against USC, that's what she's surpassing now with these 30.
Olsen slicing through.
She's passed off when she needed to. And she's played hard defensively as well.
Freely be Lucy Olsen, be yourself. And over what now could be a 5-game win streak, we have seen that Lucy Olsen. On the freshman Britt Prince, 4 points before this free throw, 2 of 6 shooting. Not finished yet, 5 assists as well. And her impact greatly limited today with their strategy. Whips a pass out into Hayden, barreling down the lane. It goes out of bounds, 2.4 seconds.
And then it seemed like it was off Iowa.
Olsen gasped. No, it's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to go the other way. Whoops.
It was, yeah, right. She was a little too far into the basket to try to lob that up.
My bad, she says. Nisley getting downhill, leaving it for Markowski, who somehow caught it. It was able to convert.
In between a couple of defenders.
To try and get that win on their home court, but they held on and they closed. And Iowa looking to do the same over the next 3 minutes.
And time is on their side. Iowa using as much of the shot clock as they can.
A lot of pressure. Affolter flips it up.
Using the entire shot clock, being very aware of how much time was on the clock and just pushing it up toward the basket. Affolter very aware. And now a three-point play.
To go along with it, and perfect from three-point range, 3 of 3. Markowski left all alone, drains the three. She's been cold in Big Ten play.
That's what's happened the last couple of possessions.
Time on the side of the Hawkeyes. They're using every second they can. Approaching 2 minutes to play. Olsen to the rim. Shake up so much in the standings. Michigan State coming off a loss to Michigan. You mentioned Illinois. Even with about a 7-player rotation, winning 6 straight games.
There are so many teams that are so clustered right there in the middle of the Big Ten standings. A lot can shift.
Rimdahl with the mid-range. 1:30 to go. Olsen, what a pass, the swing, McCabe, yes!
Through in a big way here in the second half for the Hawkeyes.
All 15 points in the second half here. She picks off the pass. And then she was fouled. Talking to her earlier this season, she said, yes, people know me for my three-point shooting, but I'm a scorer, not a shooter. And that's her mentality as she approaches every single game. It is more than just catch and shoot. Here's Nisley for 3, knocking it down. Nebraska had scored 60 points in back-to-back games, up to 66 here, but it will be a no-doubt victory for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who never trailed in this game. They will make it 5 straight wins, including back-to-back on the road. They started 2-6 in Big Ten play.